Welcome to the mornings in Meridian, top of the morning. Ah, yes, let's get in the spirit.
Where's the green beer at?
Happy. Sounds like Cousin Eddie's in the house. Oh, yes. Welcome to Mornings in Meridian. Roger B. along with, yes, you heard his voice there, Mr. Rob Atkinson.
Seriously, where's the green beer, Irish coffee? Where's
I don't know about the beer, but here's the green hat.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yes.
It don't even fit!
It doesn't fit with the headphones. But Charles Fraser's in the house on this.
Yes, not wearing a green hat.
No,
Drinking
you're not.
black coffee, not green.
Ah, yes,
You know,
yes.
sorry.
Well, we're glad you're out there, folks, on this 17th day of March, known as what? St. Patty's Day. And why do we celebrate that, by the way? What's the reason?
Because we got a bunch of Irish immigrants in
Oh!
I think, New York, Boston, and they're like, we got to have a day. And so
And it gives Americans another reason to...
To
start
drink a little bit.
drinking in the morning as opposed in the afternoon.
Like I said, the Irish coffee.
There it is, the Irish coffee. Well, the thing is, of course, it is St. Patty, and we all have. Well, yeah, you got your green on there, even a wristband there with the Eagles from MCC. But Charles, I don't see any green
Socks.
green
socks.
Green
I
socks.
can vouch for it.
Which
Okay.
was just, I have totally forgot about it, and then I just grabbed a pair out of the drawer and happened to be green. So, hey.
Well, somebody.
That's the luck of the, what? What do they call that?
Actually,
I'm not Irish, so I can't be.
Well, you were actually born
Not in Ireland.
in Great Britain,
Yes.
so yeah, you
UK.
probably wouldn't want to wear green at all, would you?
Well, no, it's interesting you say that, but no, those troubles have been.
By the way, are you a
put to
legal
rest.
immigrant? Are you legal? You have. Does ICE know about Charles?
Okay, let's just keep that on the down low, please. I mean, come on now. I mean, really?
Make
Is
sure
Tom there? Can I talk to
Hey, can
Tom?
I talk to Tom,
I'll talk to
please?
Tom Holman.
Tom, listen. 3436, Old Highway 45 North. Guy in the blue
Oh,
shirt.
how you done?
Guy in the
Get
blue
him.
I got
blue
it.
shirt,
Blue shirt.
on
Changed my
St.
color.
Patrick's Day.
All right.
Thanks, Tom.
You'll be able to spot him. Oh, yeah, I got my green on today, huh? No problem.
You do?
there.
Yeah.
Get a little,
green.
you know, once in a while you got to pull out these old Hawaiian shirts.
Yeah,
they
I
got
think
color
it
in them.
needs
you
to
know.
go back, to be honest. No, that's all right.
I love it.
All right.
Got to go back. Whew. But anyway,
Well, we need to start up this morning. Happy anniversary on the Facebook feed this morning. Our good buddy Brian McCary wants to wish his parents, Keith and Nancy, they had an anniversary this past Saturday. So,
Wait a
Brian,
minute.
Brian, a loyal listener of the show. So.
let me just think here. McCary being married on St. Patrick's Day?
Well, no,
Oh,
it's
it's
2
this
days
past
ago.
Saturday.
Oh, this
so-
past Saturday. Okay.
Get
Okay.
ahead of yourself there.
Yeah.
But close to it. Proximity.
You know, now that I think about it, I think maybe Billy Jack needs to call and confirm this, but I think Billy Jack he and his wife were married around this time of year, maybe on the 17th. All right, calling
Call
all
out. Yep.
calling all Billy Jack Etheridges,
How many are there?
and let's hope there's only one.
I was going to say. It's like,
Calling all Billy Jacks.
we want them all to call in?
Yeah, I think he
One
and
in
Gail went
particular.
across the state line over in Alabama and got married
Snuck over, huh?
in Livingston.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's the way that went.
All right.
And I want to say it was on St. Patty's Day. Now, also, it's a special day for me because this now marks 17 years that I've been on Mornings in Meridian.
Really?
Yeah,
St. Patty's was the first day, huh?
it was the first day.
Okay.
Ken Stokes, rest his soul, and I started here the same day. And I knew I was in the right place whenever I saw the program manager for, the people across the hall there, sister stations there. They was walking around with shamrocks all over his briefs.
He was walking
Not
around
briefs,
in his briefs?
his boxers.
Walking around in his boxers.
Boxers were on the outside of his pants.
Did you
I
tell
said-
him that's not generally the way they're worn?
I said, this looks like it's going to be a fun place to work.
They don't even know how to put on their underwear here. I mean, my God.
Alcohol.
They're not going to fire me.
And
They don't even know how to put on their shorts.
and then, of course, the same question Rob asked, where's the green bear?
Where's the green beer?
Stop wearing my underwear on the outside.
Anyhow, no, I'm proud of my Irish heritage. Glad that they did migrate. Thankful for the potato blight. It kind of allowed, great grandfather to come on over here. And
Well, there
that's
were
pretty
many
cool.
that died from that. You know that.
well,
So we really can't be too
but
happy
we're
about
looking.
it.
You're the glass
saying,
half empty guy here. I'm looking at the glass half
I'm
full.
just being a realist. I mean, I don't
See,
know about
that's-
pessimism or anything else. I'm just saying you are happy for it, but there are a bunch of others that maybe weren't so thrilled about it.
Clearly not
Millions.
a member. Clearly not a member of the Optimist Club there.
Well, or a member of the Burke family because they didn't make it over. Boy. Ooh.
They did. That's what I'm hearing.
I know, but the ones that didn't make it. Were
Oh,
yeah,
well.
yeah.
Well.
No, I tried to join the Optimist Club. They wouldn't take me.
I wonder, I go back now that I see, how this world works. I wonder if we go back. Was China the cause for the potato blight?
Oh, I'm sure it was.
I think it was
Wuhan thing.
I bet it was.
Yeah.
I bet it was something from
Some
Wuhan.
lab. Yep. That was it.
Mm-hmm.
The old Wuhan Hilton.
Oh, mercy. Well, we're here this morning. It's Mornings in Meridian. Our number here is 601-485-9191. St. Patrick's Day, honoring supposedly St. Patrick came to Ireland, chased out all the snakes. That's kind of one of the stories you hear. And, it was kind of converting some of the Celtics to Christianity.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was the whole point.
Can we send them to Washington?
No, I think
To
the
get all
Celtics.
the snakes out or to convert the people?
Yeah,
Or maybe a little bit of both.
I think the Celtics went to Boston. They
If
were
you, get all
Boston
the, if you
Celtics.
get all the snakes out of Washington, then there's no one left to convert.
Oh, snakes, yeah.
That's an awfully deep sewer.
When you talk about snakes in Washington, I get that Indiana Jones
Raiders
movie.
of the Lost.
Yeah, Raiders of the Lost
Falling into
Ark.
the pit.
Oh, snakes everywhere.
Asps.
Very dangerous snakes.
You go first.
I'm with him on there. We're glad you're out there. We're off and running. Of course, we want to say a big thank you to our good friends down at Premier Paint and Body Shop. They can paint your car green if you'd like it. Or they can paint it whatever color it's supposed to be because they have a great paint booth, great paint technology, a great painter who's been there for years and years, knows what to do. And I'm talking about the good folks at Premier Paint and Body Shop.
That's right. Over 30 years, providing the best auto body work and quality paint jobs. And, of course, led by Ty Booker. It's very important that you go to a place that knows technology, like you said, because, you got all these sensors, hundreds of them all over the car, and these guys know all about them. They are experts in their field. Of course, they'll give you a free estimate. They'll work with your insurance company, and all of their work has a lifetime warranty. Now, just because it's a little ding, a dent, a scratch, don't think it's too small because no job is too small or too large at Premier Paint and Body. Located right next to Johnson Dodge on Highway 39 North, open 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. Give them a call, 601-482-PAINT. Paint. Premier Paint and Body. They are the premier paint and body shop here in town.
All right, coming up on the show, Rob, somebody's coming.
Jeff Tate.
I
Jeff
thought it was
Tate.
like Santa Claus. Well, it'd be St. Patrick
Yeah.
Claus, whatever.
Well,
How does that even work?
yeah.
What do they bring? Beer? Whiskey?
Evidently, from what I'm finding out, is the Americans, I guess, try to celebrate St. Patrick's Day a little bit more in probably using more alcohol than they do actually in Ireland for this day.
Alcohol.
Yeah, I don't even know if it's a day in Ireland.
I think
mean, it's
they
a
even
day
actually-
in the States, but is it a day in Ireland?
I think
I'm
they
not sure.
do some church.
No, I
and
will
things
tell you
like
that every saint has a day, has a feast day. So this
Okay.
may actually be the feast day of St. Patrick, which is why they chose it.
Mm-hmm.
Either that or they just chose it because, a random day in March just to go ahead and have a couple of drinks.
Well, things are turning green, and of course, the Emerald Isle is green. So I guess that's why they kind of picked this time of year for the patron saint, St. Patrick's.
Oh, as far as that goes, I don't know why. But anyway.
Or maybe it's a birthday. I don't know. If anybody has any really relevant
we're
facts,
gonna have to look it
if
up
there
now.
are any relevant facts about St. Patrick's Day, give us a call.
Please enlighten us.
601-485-9191. 6 deaths so far counted in Mississippi, and they're saying about 40 overall, the South, with the storms that came through this weekend. So hearts and minds and prayers to go with the families and those that have lost lives and those that have lost property. This was quite the outbreak of storms this weekend.
It was amazing to watch those storms, just how long range those tornadoes were. Smith County, man, I feel bad for those folks down there around the Taylorsville community, of course, Tylertown, some other parts of Mississippi, but it was just like one after the other. It was like they were lined up right behind each other. But I know here in Lauderdale County, something about the Zero community. They had some damage out there, but it got pretty interesting there.
Well, the one that was threatening probably downtown Meridian in our area the most is kind of went south of us, the Russell community. We were kind of listed, Russell community, but it did go a little bit south. They're saying in Mississippi about 12 confirmed tornadoes.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a lot. That's a big outbreak for our little state.
It was amazing talking to some friends of ours who live over near Newton. The tornado that blew through Taylorsville was such a big one that some of the debris actually was lifted because there was some stuff that had Taylorsville on it that was in Newton. So that debris got lifted and traveled that far of a distance. So, but yeah, you've heard those type of stories before where it'll be like, oh, this belongs to somebody way across the state or way across the area. That's because that debris is picked up from that particular area. But yeah, Taylorsville High School got some damage, and but yeah, seeing some of those videos were pretty dramatic stuff from those storm chasers. Boy, they put themselves out there. They really do.
Well, I was watching a video online of one family down in the Taylorsville. I might have been in Taylorsville. It might have been Tylertown. I can't remember.
Yeah, Tylertown got the worst of it.
But they were, you're supposed to get away from windows and everything else.
They're out there just
their video and it said,
Hey, watch this!
the
Get
camper's
the camera.
gone.
Where's my phone?
The camper's gone, and all they're just kind of showing it's interesting video. I mean, I watched it, but you're right there by the window taking all this in.
y'all have fun with that. I'm gonna be down in the storm shelter hanging out. I'm gonna go to the nearest the hallway in the lowest floor of my house, please.
In the closet.
Yeah,
And,
go to the bathroom. Put your helmet on. So.
And I'll have to say this: I was kind of following it all on WTOK, and Deidre and the staff. They
I had to teach her how to say Meehan. Got to teach her how to say Meehan.
How was she saying it?
She said Meehan.
Mihan. Oh, it sounds so fancy.
Yeah, it's
Meehan.
Meehan.
We living over in Mihan.
That's okay.
Like Milan, but
Yeah,
it's
Mahan.
just
I think we've had a lot of different weather folks that's come through there who've said different little town names differently over the years. So,
well, first of all, I admire the fact that because this is the time when all those town names pop up, and they've probably never seen them before because they list every small community that's.
I didn't know there was a school over there.
I said,
what's going on there?
"Where's Graham?"
where's
know?
Graham?
I've never heard of that. Where's Graham? And said the Pine Forest Hospital. It's been closed for years.
I tell you what.
But I was watching all that. It was just interesting, and that's when, it's these storm days when all these names pop up, so they've got to learn on the fly how to pronounce all these places. But yeah, you should, at this point, know Meehan.
Yeah,
Mahan.
that's
Maybe
Mahan.
everybody in Meehan's been pronouncing it wrong. You know what I mean? Maybe she has it right, and for years, everybody said it wrong.
It's
No,
Mahan.
no.
Yeah, I think that's the case. I'm going to go with that.
I'll go with it. Yeah.
Yeah, go down there in the middle of downtown Meehan and say that.
People,
Is there a downtown Mahan?
Yeah, not that I'm
well,
aware of.
people can't even agree on towns like Louisville or Albany. Some say Albany and
Do they?
Albany, and some say Albany. Some say Louisville, or Louisville.
Louisville.
So around the country, we're having a hard time with keeping a consistent pronunciation.
Pelahatchie.
Not many places you can go with that.
Yeah. Well, but you're like, what is that? What is that?
I think the one that's always
And where's Pelahatchie?
the one that's always a big mishap is Bassick City, because when you look at it, it looks like Basic, but it's Bassick.
I think it's time we get back down to basics.
We can do it.
Bassick City.
Mahan.
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 I wonder why they didn't. How do you go from the word basic, you're going to go basic? How,
We don't want to be basic. We want to be
Basic.
Well, Basic City sounds kind of.
Well, the founder had an extreme Southern accent, and he says, "Well, sir, do you know what you want to name your community? You want to name it after you?" Well, no, I think basically what I want to do. Basic. There you go.
Basic.
Okay, let's take a phone call here. Good morning. Welcome to our show.
Good morning, guys. How y'all doing?
Hey, good morning.
If you're listening, you probably have an opinion.
No, but I did notice that this lady kept saying instead of Sykes, she kept saying skies.
Oh, okay, Sky.
A little dyslexia
She
coming
said
through.
it about 4 times. And, and I was like, no, it's Sykes. It's spelled S-Y-K-E-S, not S-K-Y-E-S. But the Pine Forest, what was the name of it? The hospital?
Yeah.
Is where Righteous Oaks is now, which is a men's addiction recovery center.
Now, you've ministered there before. Are you still there?
for 25 years, I've been going once a month to preach out there. So,
Oh, fantastic!
so
Yeah, that's
I go every Friday or Saturday night once a month, and I used to do it during the day, but now that I teach at Lamar School, I can't do it. But
yeah.
anyway, that's a great place, but I don't think it's been called Pine Springs Hospital in 30
Yeah,
years.
Pine
at
Forest.
least.
It was
Pine
Forest.
Forest,
It was
yeah.
it was a school and hospital,
Yeah.
church owned there.
Seventh-day Adventist. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
South of
It's a
Chunky.
beautiful place.
It is beautiful, and I went out there one day just to kind of reminisce, and of course I got
Yeah.
a lot of looks out there because I was a stranger on campus, and so they
Tell 'em
ask
I
you.
sent you.
They come up there and they say, "Can I help you?"
Yeah.
And which really
Well, they
means,
don't
"Can I
want-
help you out the gate?" I think.
Yeah. They don't want anybody bringing drugs up there.
Yeah, sure.
Ah, yes, of
Yeah.
course, yes, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah. Use my name. You'll get a good seat.
I will definitely do that. And of course, can I say your name now on the air? Can I say that?
You can. I don't
Doctor
care.
Dr. Ralph Henson on the phone here, folks.
Yeah. Anyway, I always enjoy listening to you guys.
Thank you,
All
sir.
right, you tell Sis she's welcome to come by and talk with us.
Well, I'll give her your number and let her come by.
That sounds good.
Because
Absolutely.
she'd like to. Of course, she'll be on the June 3rd ballot because there's not anybody running in the Republican against her. So
Hmm.
she's got a little time.
Yeah, she's got some time there. That's of course Beverly Henson running for
Right.
City Council.
Ward 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's got 6 on the other side running, on the Democratic side.
Lord mercy.
There was somebody named Henson that had that seat before. I'm trying to recall.
I think so. Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Were you
now-
related to her?
Yes, I was. proud son, firstborn son.
Oh, I love it.
I will tell you that on April 28th,
Yeah.
you remember we had the thing at our church for the mayors. On April 28th, we're going to have the same thing for the city council. We're going to wait till after the runoff.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic.
And we're going to have the same thing, and we'll have all 5 wards. There'll be at least 2, maybe 3 from each one. And we're going to do the exact same thing where it's question and answer, talking about safety and crime in the neighborhood.
Good deal.
I'll tell you more about it when we get closer.
Perfect.
Anyway, appreciate it. Always good talking to you.
Always good
Thank you,
talking
sir.
to you. Thank you, Doc.
Thank you, sir.
All right, it's Mornings in Meridian, hearing from Dr. Ralph Henson, pastor and
I wanted to see what he thought about Meehan, or
Teacher?
Mahan, as it may be.
I think it sounds good. It's almost like it could be you would name a dish on at a restaurant after it, like
Redfish Mahan.
like see, there you go.
Ala Mahan.
What would you put on redfish Mahan?
Some of that junction sauce.
Yeah.
'Cause
Junction.
It's called Meehan Junction. Put some junction sauce
Some
on
junction sauce. Okay, there you go.
Okay.
And
it. Whatever that is.
all right, let me just put it this: what part of the armadillo would you put on
Exactly.
the
The
Meehan?
whole thing, just the whole thing on top.
Smother it.
Little roadkill on there. Yes, indeed. Delicious.
601-485-9191. Good morning, caller.
Good morning.
Welcome.
You are doing the easy ones. I mean, all this is easy pronunciation.
Oh, really?
Get into Waholic, Sugarlock, Kosciuszko.
Wow.
Try some of those on.
Waholic. Oh, yeah, that's
Yep,
it.
Waholic.
Yeah,
Yep.
okay.
It'd be some people Wahalac.
Waholic.
South Choctaw, but,
Yeah.
some of this other, I'm just thankful they tried to pronounce it anyway so the people would be warned.
How do we get a town named Prismatic?
Well, it had something to do with a mirror.
Some sort of a crystal. Look at you. I'm glad to hear your voice, sir. I haven't heard from you in a while.
How about Damascus?
Yeah, Damascus. Yep.
Klondike?
Yeah, and then
All those places.
Gaucher.
I've been to,
Yeah.
I tell everybody,
That's
I said, where have you
Christianity.
been? I said, I went to Damascus last week.
and we have Moscow, don't we?
We do.
Moscow.
I've been to Moscow.
Kiev or no Kiev?
No Kiev.
Well, I think that the reason we didn't bring up all the difficult ones was because Meehan couldn't be pronounced correctly.
Yeah,
So,
that's right.
we just wanted to keep it kind of simple.
Yeah.
Not even, or Sykes for that matter. So we didn't
I
want to go.
understand. But I was listening to you gentlemen, and I thought I'd throw out those
Oh, yeah.
Did he call us gentlemen?
challenging
Wow.
names.
Well, I was just going to give a
Yep,
shout
tell
out
her
to.
I'll still kick it.
Hey, glad to hear it there. I'm glad to hear the breeze is still blowing.
The breeze is blowing. Maybe not a gale force wind, but he's still blowing.
All right, good deal.
All right. Have a good day.
Thank
sir.
you. Jimmy checking in there with us, Mr. Moore. give a talk about these names. Of course, again, but let me go back to say this is all started out by saying, they were busier than a
they were
three-ring
on top of it.
circus.
They really did a great
in
job.
WTOK.
I don't mean to disparage
Yeah,
them,
they were fantastic.
Sometimes we got to poke a little fun, but
Well, of course.
we wouldn't be us if we didn't.
Yeah, and just think when Jeff Tate comes in here, we're going to poke a lot of fun because anytime you have a politician in the house,
Yes, you got to.
we're going to do
And
that.
I thought it was funny because a politician gave me money over the weekend. Now, how ironic is that?
Wait a minute.
I'm
Is
just
this
saying,
is this an
what
election year?
happened.
Is this an election
I
year?
didn't think it was, but maybe it is. I'm not sure.
Well, you probably provided good
Oh,
culinary
well,
services.
there was an exchange of
Okay.
service for that, but whatever. Still, I got money from a politician, so I feel like it was a victory.
Well, and he himself is in some ways involved in the culinary art. So
He is.
we'll find out about all that and more when we visit with State Senator Jeff Tate. He's going to be here in the House. In fact, there's a fellow that resembles him sitting in the chair right now. So I think that's him.
Yeah.
We'll be right back after this Fox News break and some of our sponsors. The Irish group Coors. There you go. They're
That was the beer.
no, that's Coors. This is Coors.
Coors, not Coors.
You're right.
So you were talking about Coors, not Coors.
Yeah, this is the group
I didn't-
Coors, not the beer Coors.
Coors Light.
We've talked
That's
a lot
kinda like
about beer this morning.
You know,
And it's only
I think.
30 minutes in. Wow.
Goodness,
You brought it up, by the way.
Hey, just,
Yeah,
hey,
it's your fault.
that's fine. I'll wear it.
morning.
Pass it.
The L Trail was heavy through Weidman's this weekend, I can tell you that.
Oh, here he is. Speaking up, folks. It's Mornings in Meridian. Roger B. Say hi to Rob Atkinson.
Good morning.
Charles Frazier.
Good morning.
Also, here he is, entrepreneur, and, well, he's also a politician if you want to put it down to the brass tacks, because he is your state senator. Say hi to Jeff Tate.
Happy St. Patty's Day.
Yes, sir, and to you as well.
Yes, sir.
I
Yes, sir.
suppose with a name like Tate, that's a good name to have on today like today.
Yeah, we've got that. Scottish, Irish, both.
Yes.
Yeah, so some mixture in between,
Kind
right
of
there
the
on the
Burke
line.
thing, yeah.
Hey, you had Dr. Henson call in on my drive up, and I wanted to give a funny story. We're talking about elections and
Okay.
Ms. Henson. So, election commissioner for a long time, worked with Donna Jill, and that's where you go to qualify for basically all the positions, most all of them.
Yeah.
But it was election year for Miss Henson, and she was Ward 3 councilwoman, and it was qualifying deadline day. And so Donna Jill was in tight with Miss Pam McInnes, who was the clerk of the city council back then.
Yes.
And I remember deadline day to qualify for municipal elections, us sitting by the counter waiting for the phone to ring from Miss Pam to call us to let us know, hey, what was the last minute surprises? Well, the surprise came to us. There was a guy who was wanting to qualify at the last minute against Miss Henson. He came to the wrong location. He came to the courthouse instead of City Hall. And he walked in all cocky and said, I'm here to qualify for Ward 3. And I said, boss, you're in the wrong spot. And he immediately pulled his phone out, just nervously looking at it, just like a nervous tick. And I said, you got to go about 4 blocks that way. And he just started backing up a little bit, backing up. And I said, you got to go a lot faster than that, because it was literally like 4:57 p.m., 4 or 5 o'clock deadline. And so anyway, because of that, because of not knowing exactly where to go qualify, Miss Henson had another term that she went unopposed. And so that was her last term in office. So it's a little story, little thing there that you can't Google. You just have to trust that what I'm telling you is the truth. Kind of like what Stanley Shannon tells you a story. You can't Google it. You just have to assume it's the truth.
Okay. Wow. Take a little shot there.
Now, have we ever seen that person again?
No.
It wasn't like Roger or something. I don't want to get you in trouble, Roger.
Well, if you have someone who doesn't have all the facts about where to, is that the person you want for your city council member anyway? That's kind of interesting. Yeah.
Well, look at what we have now.
But the point is,
Oh, wait, who said that?
That was Rob who said that.
I'll gladly say I said it.
we're going to continue our visit with State Senator and good local entrepreneur and friend Jeff Tate. But first, we're going to talk about something he probably doesn't know anything about, and that's the Carr family at Trucker Supply.
That's right. Trucker Supply is your one-stop shop for all your tools. They've got all kinds of Milwaukee tools. In fact, it's a Milwaukee tool super center. They've got the cordless power tools, saws, drills, impact drills, sanders, grinders, cutters, routers, grease guns, and I like this part, more.
And more.
And more. They've got it all.
They got
They're all got
everything.
those interchangeable batteries, so you're buying a whole system. And they're made right here in the state of Mississippi, so you're buying local as well. Of course, they've got the Kinepix tools as well, like channel locks on steroids and Yeti. Everything you need Yeti, whether it's replaced sparks and you need a new lid for your mug, they got them there. You want a cooler? Summertime is coming. You got to keep those beverages cold, but it keeps your coffee hot as well. So don't forget about them. And Hot Sea pressure washers. If you've got some pressure washing to do, which we probably all do, go get yourself a Hot Sea, the best in the business. You know where they are, Trucker Supply, 519 Highway 19 South. The Carr family's been doing it since 1969. 56 years strong. Can't beat it. And I challenge you to go into that store and walk out without buying anything. It's virtually impossible. Just the selection is amazing.
All right.
Go down and see them, Trucker Supply.
There you go. It's good old folks down there. Zena checking in on the Mahan dish that you'll be serving at Weidman's.
The Mahan.
Put Dijon on the Mahan.
Dijon Mahan.
Okay. Anyway. Oh, fun. Jeff Tate, good to see you, sir.
You have it looks like a homeless guy trying to get into your back door there. I don't know what's
That's
I don't know what's
every
going
day.
on.
He sees our security screen, and he's making some rough comments about Representative
Rob, don't hand him anything that's against the law.
Billy Adam Calvert coming in there. We're going to be overrun here, guys. I mean, this is we're almost outnumbered.
We are. Yeah.
So anyway, Jeff, good to see you this morning. Give us a little heads up of what's the atmosphere like for getting our taxes reduced in Jackson.
They are going back and forth. And when I say they, that'd be leadership between the Senate and the House on trying to find a way to eliminate the income tax, a path forward to do that where, we just don't completely gut all funding everywhere, doing a lot of cuts to a lot of different places. And, Billy Adam probably can talk more about, their plan on the House side. I can tell you we've come up on the Senate side. But ultimately, if we don't have a deal, it sounds like there will be a special session called by the governor to find a way to get there. And so that's kind of the appetite.
I just want to respond to the look on Billy Adam Calvert's face, and that is that, remember, you agreed to walk in the door, okay? Just so you know. This was your idea.
I know, and it's scary, too.
I think we're all a little terrified.
Without any green on, by the way.
Oh.
Well, there you go.
I'm sorry.
It just shows you he's not always ready to go along with the.
Doesn't go with the flow. That's right. Bucking the trend.
Doesn't
That's what I like to see.
go with the majority all the time.
He's just forgetful. That's all it is.
I do have a bad memory.
At some point, I almost think you guys were brothers.
Oh, God.
Because the way y'all talk about each other. Anyway, we're
Like
going.
Cain and Abel.
Yeah, goodness. So we're talking about the tax. Well, welcome, Billy Adam Calvert. Thank you for walking in, by the way.
Thank you. Good to be here.
And of course, you're a representative from, and again, one of those districts. There's so many.
83.
83, and you're 33. Yeah, 83, 33. Hike. All right, so good to have you gentlemen here. It is really good because our listeners hope you're tuned in, folks. We definitely want you here because you're going to be hearing some good information from your representation over in Jackson. So back and forth, the leadership is going over tax cuts. So what's the House proposing there, Billy Adam?
The House, it's got income tax elimination. There's some parts I don't like. But if you vote against it, you're voting against income tax elimination.
What's the part you don't like?
I don't like the gas tax. It's like a 5%, but the only way I go along with it is you eliminate the income tax, which the other bad part of it is.
So you eliminate eliminate the income tax, the fuel tax will go up.
Yeah, I believe it's 5%.
Okay.
On the fuel tax. But it takes 10 years. That's the other thing I don't like. It takes 10 years to eliminate it. And doing that, they're just trying to be careful that we don't put the state in bad shape.
Does the fuel tax go directly to, like, Department of Transportation and Highway Improvement? Is that
Yes.
Okay, that's not a general fund kind of thing.
No, that's...
Yeah, so that's a very specific, okay. But they're just saying that then, okay, we can help keep our highway department funded by raising the gas tax.
I guess you could say that's an earmark for MDOT. So I think by 2045 they'll be underfunded, close to $400 million. So I've got about 20 rock picks on my car just from driving from Meridian to Jackson the last two sessions. So.
Well, we'd like to recommend you go to A&A Glass.
Of course.
Right there on 22nd Avenue. And that wasn't a cue to start a commercial.
Start one.
We'll do that
Whatever.
later.
Yeah,
though.
all right.
Yep.
No doubt. At this point, he's going to have to replace the whole windshield.
Okay. Well, so what you're saying is if down the road without the income tax, we could end up with a more underfunded Department of Transportation?
So to speak. It depends on revenues. Which revenues are good. We've done well the last 6 years. That's because of good leadership.
All right. So House says eliminate the income tax, raise the fuel tax. Senate says, Jeff?
Something similar. And let me say, I was just kidding about the whole Cain and Abel. We're much more like Jacob and Esau. We'll make up in the end. But anyway, now so the Senate and
Yeah, but it took Jacob and Esau 20 years.
well, it'll take us longer.
That's about how long it's going to take to
Which
eliminate
one's
the income tax.
Jacob and which one's Esau? Okay.
Oh no, but seriously, what we have on the Senate side that I've yet to vote on. This is still something that is being negotiated, and the way that this will be set up is that the Senate will have to vote on this first, and we had small meetings with the lieutenant governor. When I say small, there'd be about 10 to 15 of us in a room at a time, and they presented the plan, and they'd go to each and every individual senator and say, "What do you think? What do you think?" And everybody was like, "I'm good with it. I'm good with it. I'm good with it." Came to me, and I said, "Look, I don't know. I'd be okay with not voting on this at all and just saying that, hey, we're in good shape the way that we are, not increasing the fuel tax, not over a long period of time."
Well, what is the lieutenant governor's plan?
His plan is to have a 3 cent over 3 year increase per gallon, not 3%, but 3 cents. So if gas is
And what about the income tax?
Income tax would be eliminated based on the fact that we do not spend more than we take in, nor that we borrow any money. So we haven't borrowed money in 3 or 4 sessions in a row, which is a record. We've been able to pay down.
That's
on
not good
our
news
debt.
for those who like to sell bonds.
Well, that's on them. It's been good that we've been able to pay down our debt service, and debt service is a really nasty thing where you have to pay attorneys and other things that that's why we don't like bonds. And so if we can do that, then over the course of 12 years, the income tax will eventually be eliminated. Now, let's say Trump
10
says.
years. And how many years for the House plan?
It's 10.
Okay, it's all 10 years. Okay.
So if
Well, I won't be making any income in 10 years, so I guess I just don't get
that's
the
the
clip.
thing, you talk to a lot of people about it, and they say, well, by then it won't matter.
Yeah.
But if you ask our governor, he's saying,
kind of like to have the help right now, guys. To be honest with you.
yes, sir.
We're trying.
So one thing that would be immediate is there would be a grocery tax cut. And so grocery tax would go from 7% to 5%. If you look at where we are with our income tax, if you look at where we are with our property tax, compared us to other states, we are sitting very competitive. Like we're in a good spot. It's our grocery tax that we're actually the opposite of that. Most all other states have a tax lower on their groceries than they do just general things. Now, with the cut in the grocery tax and the cut with the income tax from the Senate, and it's probably the same in the House plan, but in the Senate plan, that's money that comes out of the general fund. So think of it as money coming out of pet projects, money coming out of those things. When you have the increase in the gas tax, that money goes directly to Department of Transportation, but then also state aid roads and for counties to fix bridges. And, right now we're sitting pretty good. Hats off to Rush Mayat if he's listening out there. That's a heck of a job that he's had to take on. And for a while there, he inherited quite a mess as far as a lot of bridges going down at the same time. I think Lauderdale County has the second most amount of bridges that the county has to maintain of all the 82 counties. And we're also in a unique position to where when Lauderdale County developed, we really developed a lot of our bridges about 50, 60, 70 years ago. And guess what? That's the time limit of these bridges. So we kind of got over a hump, but we still have a lot of bridges that are about to come up that are going to need taken care of here in Lauderdale County. And so that would be revenue that they know would come in. Instead of it being a percentage, that the percentage, your dollar amount could go up or down. If you have a strict cents on there, exactly, unless people just start buying gasoline less, how much money, you have a better idea of how much money you'll have coming in, where you can, strategize better on how to tackle state aid roads, highways, and bridges. That's one of those things where if you get 100 Republicans in the room, 33% of them will say, I want the income tax eliminated. 33% will say, reduce my groceries. 33% will say, do or don't go to the fuel tax. And so it's one of those where you have to explain. And when you have to explain, then, you get in trouble with bills. And so, but it is something that I've texted y'all and I've said on this show that we're taxed on many things. If there's one thing that I wish that we could reduce or eliminate, it would be the tax on work. It's not called an income tax. It's a tax on work.
Thank you.
And so if we can get to that, even if we just reduce it some, I'd rather do that than raise somewhere else. But if I vote against eliminating the income tax by way of raising the gas tax, then I'd be the only Republican that would do that. And so I can't say that I'd do that. I can't say that I would vote against allowing the income tax to be eliminated. Can't do that. I'd have to vote for it.
Mm-hmm.
I want to touch on that too, because
Please.
he's talking about the bonds. We have paid off close to $1 billion in bonds and eliminated close to 3,000 government jobs. So,
And used to, we would take on hundreds of millions of dollars worth of bonds every year. I mean, every year we just get more and more in debt. And so, thankfully, you say whatever you want to. We have went the other direction as far as how we are financially, and made sure that our rainy day fund was fully funded.
How much is in that?
it's close to $700 million, but we're sitting on close to $2.7 billion in cash.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
This, just sitting over here.
It was raining
Not
over the
in
weekend. I could have used some.
not in the rainy day
mean,
fund, but
yeah.
that's a surplus of cash we have.
Well,
and revenues are slower right now, but they're still up.
And that's good. Okay. We have an annual, all our expenditures each year, about $7 billion? Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, about a $7 billion budget for the state. All right. So
And just to touch on that too, we're sitting in a surplus. California's, they're down like $50 billion.
hey, California called. They want to borrow some money. Yeah, right.
2.5 billion. Yeah.
So, to go slow with the income tax, because the income tax is tax on work, is a big part of what funds the state.
What is that annual total revenue from income? Work tax.
I'm thinking around 40% of what comes in. So if you do the math on that, but
It's around 1.9.
if that's cut off, there's a chance that Trump says we're pulling all the Medicaid funds. Now that's a huge part of what goes through the state of Mississippi. Huge part. And so then we'd be in the same situation that all the other states would be in.
What's the state portion on that so far? Medicaid?
A tenth of what goes out. In other words, it's a lot, big portions from the feds.
90% for the feds, yeah.
And so without their help, we'd have to find some ways to do some things. Some things would have to be cut very seriously. So that's part of what goes into wanting to do this. And so the governor has made it crystal clear. I wouldn't say crystal clear, but he's made it to where me and Billy Adam kind of say, hey, if we don't find a way to eliminate the income tax, then there will be a special session called, and it may be a way that the House and Senate may not agree to, but a way that the governor just demands that we do. And that'd be a weird situation that we'd have a special session day after day until we'd come to an agreement on, and that would be the only matter of business.
Whatever became of the plan to, if there was a reduction of the state income tax, a small increase of the general sales tax? Does that just went by the wayside? Or okay,
Yeah.
That's not an option for anybody.
Not right now. It was in the House plan, but right now we don't know what's going to happen. And
Yeah.
I feel like we're going to wind up in a special session.
All 51, there's usually 52 senators because Jennifer Branning's position hasn't been filled yet. All 51 senators, when polled by Delbert, said we're not going to vote for a sales tax increase.
Okay.
We don't want to do that.
So would it be wiser to wait and see what Trump does with the Medicaid, and then before we make a decision?
Well,
on
that's
income?
why I think both plans take the time to get there. Where you have, okay, let's see what Trump does, but then also we have the governor breathing down our neck saying, get it done now.
Sure.
And so, and I don't think
Does he have bad breath? I mean, he's breathing down.
he's
your neck.
okay. He's all right.
Okay, I just want
Those mints.
You got to get to know him. But our bill in the Senate says that if ever we spend up to 2% of what came in, then there's a pause that year of reducing the income tax. So we have to make sure that we spend way less than what we have come in, and then it'll keep creeping down.
So the regular session is going to end.
April 5th or 6th. something
Okay.
like that.
So you've got still got about 3 weeks to iron things out, so to speak.
And
All
I'm,
right.
I'm not in disagreement with his plan. I'm
Yeah.
for income tax elimination however we can get there. I wish
Sure.
we could get there quicker.
Yeah.
But both plans are around 10 years. So
Yeah. Yeah, I think, 10 years, of course. I don't know what happens to, don't you reach a certain age, you don't have to pay income tax? Is it?
65, I believe.
Oh, well, I'm done in September then. I don't care what y'all do.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
You go for it.
Huh.
Whatever.
65 or
tax.
66.
I'm going to tell y'all right
So
now.
you're exempt
next
at that
year,
point?
Next year, I ain't going to pay no income tax.
Well, that's a lot of retirees have some of them have a problem with it, but you know they've got a formula out. There's a guy named Gerard. He invented all this accounting software, so he can take what you make, all that, what you spend on groceries, what you do, all this, and everybody's in the good at the end. It might be $1 to the good, but nobody loses money.
So one of our colleagues, he loves the idea of eliminating the income tax and putting on the fuel tax. And I'm not saying I endorse this, but this is how he says it loud and proud. He's like, well, you know what? There's drug dealers out there that aren't paying a single dime in income. There are people out there who aren't working, who are able-bodied people that can work, and they're not paying anything in there. The working man right now is having to pay in there. So I'd rather the working man be able to get a break and then everybody pay a share when it comes to the fuel tax.
Well, and quite frankly, the best way to accomplish that is and I don't want to increase in sales tax, but that would be the way to do it. Everybody,
a consumption tax.
Drug dealers
They'll be buying
buy
electric
stuff.
cars. Yeah.
They buy stuff with cash, and they have to pay tax.
I can see where, with the grocery tax going down and not increasing the sales tax, that would most benefit our senior citizens, because those are the ones that are buying the most groceries, who aren't going out to eat as much, the ones that aren't traveling as much. And, if you're trying to do better for yourself, then you aren't traveling as much and you aren't going out to eat as much. Sorry. But, but you are buying at the grocery store because you're going to cook at home. And so for someone who's struggling, that's trying, and they're working, this plan would benefit that Mississippian the most, probably the one who needs it the most, the one that's trying the hardest, and also is working, having to pay tax on their income. And so I can see where this is good. It's one of those that you have to explain.
And I use myself as an example where, okay, if you raise the tax on gasoline, then I'm at the age now where I won't have to pay income tax, but I want to travel more, and so I'm going to have to pay. You're going to pop me with the gas tax.
But certainly, a value-added tax is a lot fairer than an income tax, I think.
Yeah.
But I'm going to touch on that. 50% of the state pays income tax, so the other 50% don't. And even with the small tax, it's still a gas tax. We're still one of the lowest states of the nation when it goes to that gas tax.
Are we competitive with our neighboring?
Oh, we're lower. Anything we do is still a 1% or bigger, larger than our surrounding states.
Now, I mean, so we're talking about lowering the income or the grocery tax. So if we lowered that by 1%, is that what we're thinking?
2% is what the Senate has.
Does that really have any effect on anybody? I mean in all honesty, it has effect on what's coming in, but it doesn't. I don't think it changes anybody's habits. I mean, I got to say that's so minor that it's almost it seems it's probably politically expedient to say, hey, look what we're doing, but I mean, does it have any real world application where people are saying, ooh, now I can buy that extra pack of Fritos or whatever it is? I mean, I don't know that it really has that much effect.
Who can afford 2 packs of those?
I know, it's crazy, especially the scoop kind. You know what I mean?
The big ones.
It's I would say that it's part of the equation, because whenever you get all 50 of your states and you kind of just do a little grid of, okay, where is each state on each level? Again, that's where when we talk about the gasoline tax, about the lowest. It's been, I mean, Lieutenant Governor Eddie Briggs was in office last time there was a raise, right? That was in the 80s.
Gas tax, 1987.
All right, so 1987, that's the last time it's been touched. And by the way, not all of the gasoline tax goes to roads, bridges. Some of that money goes to like Mississippi Wildlife and Fishery for some reason. Okay. But if you look at where we're competitive all across the board on each of these. The grocery tax is one where we're higher than the rest of the states, and so we want to, if anything, make our stats look better. And I get what you're saying, and that's why it's nothing to write home about. Yeah. And that's why it's like, maybe we just do nothing because we're sitting good. Yeah. This is a lot of a tax swap, but it'd be a tax swap off of working, which is the only reason why this has any traction at all. That's the only reason why.
Yeah, if we want to save the working man some money and eliminate the income tax, don't worry about the grocery tax or anything else.
All right. If we have totally confused all of you out there, you're welcome to call in and ask. Well, you have an opportunity. You can actually ask your senator and your representative questions and get those questions answered right here, right now. Our number is 601-485-9191. In the meantime, you might run into these fellas every once in a while down at the Magnolia Restaurant.
That's right, and today especially because they got the pot roast. Not to mention beef tips over rice, hamburger steak, chicken wings, and fried chicken. Can't go wrong with that. They also got the Biggie Burger. How big is it, Roger?
It's really, really huge.
The really, really huge hamburger. Well, they just call it the Biggie Burger because it's a lot easier to say. And if you want to go over there and get some breakfast, get the long haul breakfast. That will keep you going all day long.
All the way to Jackson.
Me and
or
Leah,
even further.
me and Leah got ready for the tornadoes by going there to eat. So we
What better place to prepare?
Now,
Or even ride it out if you needed to.
you got ready before the tornadoes by going there. You what? Did you get some
That's what we did.
takeout and store up, or just?
she got the like Mexican omelet or something like that.
Yeah.
We took that to go, and then of course I couldn't do that. I had to eat my pork chops there. I wasn't going to take that.
Yeah.
None of that. Yeah, I'm eating here.
I eat here. I got you.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you want to get something to go, give them a call. And by the time you get up there to exit 150, hot and ready, bring it back to your desk and enjoy. 601-482-0259 is that number for the Magnolia Restaurant inside the Queen City Truck Stop. Go see them. You know why? Because they never close. You don't even have to worry about the hours.
You know, I was
Always. That's their hours.
I was going to see if I could get a key to the restaurant. They said we don't have keys. We don't even know
I
how.
don't think they'd probably give you one, though, I got to say.
Probably not. Yeah.
that was it.
They don't need a key. They don't lock it. It's Mornings in Meridian. We're glad you're out there tuned in. And, of course, we do advise you to go down there to the Magnolia Restaurant and have a good hot meal. All right, let's go to the phone. Representative Adam Calvert. You've heard us brag about him on the show. You know, we do that. We'll brag on the ones we like. And we also have Jeff Tate. No,
We brag on him, too.
we
Come
brag on him
He's a
too.
good customer.
Rob is like, what?
Hey,
Uh-oh.
a lot of bragging.
Rob's got the ball
I
back
like
there.
the first statement.
Yeah. We've got State Senator Jeff Tate here with us. We're glad to have these gentlemen here so they can answer your questions. Let's take a phone call here right now. Good morning, caller. Welcome to our show.
Good morning. How y'all this morning?
Doing great.
Morning.
Morning.
Look, I know we sent a man to the moon in 1960, so apparently there's some technology out there that we should have by 2025. On this fuel tax, is there not a way that we could maybe get with the local stores or some technology that would not charge the residents of Mississippi, whether it be with a debit card being registered in their area code, or if you're paying cash, letting the cashier know, looking at your license, and do an exemption for the fuel tax for the Mississippi residents? We would certainly still get a lot of revenue from people traveling through our state. I know that'd probably be a little bit more legwork, but I know they do that with some of the hotel tax in other places, and that's a little bit easier to do. I understand that because, you know, you're looking at addresses with the hotel tax. But I think y'all two are doing a great job, Billy. It was good to see you smile a while ago. You haven't done that online since you've been on there, but it was good to see that. But y'all guys really do a good job, and the seriousness that y'all take and the due diligence y'all are doing, we really do appreciate it. So just an idea on that. I know that may not be feasible, but that's the first thing that came to my mind when I heard you talking about it, was if some way we could eliminate that with some kind of, technology that would link those debit cards or link that area code. So, y'all have a good morning. Appreciate you.
All right.
Appreciate you,
Appreciate
Brian. That's nice. I'll say that was something that we brought up in the Lieutenant Governor's office, and probably the same thing with Billy Adam. He can probably echo what I'm about to say. You know, they ask us for input, we give it, and then at the end of the day, leadership comes up with their plan, and you're either going to be a yes or a no. And that wasn't part of it. Like you said, I know that with hotels, they can do that. There'd be a lot to that to be able to, and there'd be probably a lot of fraud with that, trying to keep up with that. But
And I can imagine now, just shoot straight with me. I'm imagining if you vote against leadership, then it makes it a little more difficult down the road if you want to get something from Jackson for your district.
You darn right it does. And
Okay.
there's been sessions where, you know, there was a session where I had no problem with what leadership wanted that year. It was fine, and it was like you're part of the go team, and we had a lot of things done over here in East Mississippi, and then there were many other sessions where that was not the case. And right now, I'm kind of on that edge. Right now, we'll see what they make us vote or not vote on. But yeah, when that's definitely true.
So there is retribution when you go against leadership in politics.
I wouldn't say that. I would just say it makes life a lot easier and things a lot better for you if you do.
Okay,
between
you
the
wouldn't
lines.
say that, but I will say there's
You could say that,
retribution
yeah, that's what-
against the ones in their party that didn't vote. And you kind of that's
the
you know
game.
that's why they call it politics.
That's the game.
That's
right.
it.
Yeah.
So
But he does make a great point, and that is a great idea. I don't know how we could get there, but that is a great idea to do that. And
you're
I don't
talking
know what
about
those
just
numbers-
charging a certain tax for people
give
out
it-
of state.
Give Mississippians a little break. I just don't know. It'd be very difficult.
Well, now here's what you'll get into. You have a lot of folks that come over from Alabama or people that have property in Alabama who can say that their
Correct.
residents are over there, but they're here. You know, it's. I'm really back to all about whoever is not paying income tax, whatever reason. You know, we mentioned the drug dealers. I'm all about them paying more money.
Right.
And able-bodied people that aren't working,
And
whether drug dealers or not, just able-bodied people that are not working.
If a Mississippian is going to be paying a tax of some sort, then all Mississippians need to be involved in that taxation.
We're tired of toting the load.
I like that. Tired of
And
toting
not
the
every-
load.
You know, not everyone pays grocery tax either. So that's another. I think the grocery tax.
Who's exempt from grocery tax?
EBT.
EBT cards.
Okay.
How we get one of those?
So they,
Yeah. I said, sign me up.
Yeah.
well, again, that'd be one for those that are working that are trying to. It would benefit them. So don't think that it would just be blanket for everybody. For those
Yeah.
people that aren't working that have government subsidies like that,
Yeah.
this would not be a benefit for them.
Got another caller on the line. Good morning. Do you have a question for our congressional delegation?
Good morning, gentlemen. Yes, I have one question.
Now we have
How
three
much
politicians. We've got the
Crazy.
mayor of
Mayor.
Sucalina.
We are outnumbered.
We've got the
officially.
mayor of Sucalina, and now along with
Get
the
out of
other
here, y'all.
All politicians work together. But I was got a question about how much money does the lottery generate for the state of Mississippi? I was thinking that was a pretty good windfall.
Good point.
It was
Good question.
150 million last year. The first 80 million goes to MDOT, and then the rest goes to the Education Enhancement Fund.
So you don't have any excess out of that.
No, sir. When they set it up, which was before we arrived on the scene, they set it up that way. Now the House plan did change that, put the first 100 million into PERS,
Yep.
and then I believe the rest. I have to look at my notes. I believe the rest went to. I don't know if it all went to the Education Enhancement Fund, but I think the rest went to MDOT. But
There you go. So there's the
Okay.
answer. You said how much
Thank you
percent?
very
How
much.
much percent goes to MDOT?
The first 80 million.
right now it's the first 80
First
million.
80 million. Okay, so then that leaves all right, another 70 for.
But I believe those numbers
education.
were around 150 million total last
Okay.
year in revenue.
What about now this online gambling? I know that I've seen some things about that and possible revenue from
That's
doing
right.
that.
And
I
so
mean,
that's one of those that we're coming up on to vote on. And you ask 12 people in the room, half dozen of them are, man, this is just stupid. Why are we not past this already? Go ahead and pass it. People are doing it already anyway. Put a tax on it and let's go with it. And the other half will say, no, don't. Why would you try to allow another vice to come into our state? And so it's one of those that,
Another vice. You talking about gambling?
right.
I
And-
think we went. I think that ship sailed.
Long time.
No, that barge sailed down on the coast and on the river
right,
years
up in
ago.
Philadelphia. and
I'm
various
just
other
telling you. You talk to 10 folks. Half will say this, half will say the other, and that's one where
Yeah.
we've yet to vote on it in the Senate. Have y'all voted on it in the
We
House?
voted on it.
Okay.
What'd you vote on the House?
I voted yes. There's a lot of illegal online gambling,
Yeah.
and you got your pros and cons to anything. But
Yeah.
I think that's the only form of gambling that's left,
Mm-hmm.
and they keep bringing
Well,
it up.
if you
But
just get the druggies to pay tax, we'd have it made.
Yeah,
That's right.
right.
That's
about that.
that's kind
Well,
of
we get the gamblers too, but
yeah.
how much would that generate in revenue? Any?
they said the
projections?
number, but I can't remember.
It would be a guess, if anything.
Sure,
It
I
would
know
be.
that. Yeah.
50 million maybe.
Okay.
something like that.
Nothing to
And
squeeze that.
what I predict to see is kind of like with the medical marijuana. You had so many people that were for it because they had all these grandiose ideas, and then they didn't realize just how regulated the actual bill was. And I feel like that's how it's going to be with mobile online sports betting. Is that it's going to cost more to do it. I've never done it, so I don't know how that goes. But again, it's been a topic for many years. I think we've had 1 out of 6 sessions to vote on it, but it sounds like this session it's going to be either so close that it just barely fails, or it's going to go into law come July 1.
Benny, how have you been doing on that online gambling? Has that been working out for you?
Yeah, it's working out pretty good. So far, I've invested $100 and got $30 back. So, can I get a tax deduction for that loss?
That's a loss. That's right.
How's the medical marijuana working for you, Benny?
Well, no comment.
Very good. All right. I'll tell you what.
Okay, well, that's all. I hope everyone has a great day.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Benny.
Well, and that's interesting. Is medical marijuana taxed?
Yes.
Okay.
It has an excise tax on it, and
Okay.
so you pay sales tax on it, and then an excise tax on top of that.
And how is that materialized now versus what was predicted when before the bill was passed?
I've got those numbers too.
Well, Billy Adam
likes
Calvert,
numbers.
why don't you
I like
just bring us
the
those
number
numbers?
guy.
Bring us, and now, ladies and gentlemen, here they are, the medical marijuana numbers.
Which,
It's like the crop report.
well, right now it's underperforming. They thought they would have 150,000 card holders by now,
Yeah.
and it's somewhere close to 50. And it brought in
50,000 card holders?
50,000 card holders. It's like 46,
Yeah.
852 last time I checked.
Gotcha.
That was before the first of the year. It brought in around 100 million in revenue, which I think we have a 12% tax on it, so it brought in 12 million to the state.
Okay.
A lot of them are struggling. But the ones around here, we have one here. I won't say the name of it, but it's like the number one dispensary in the state.
Wow.
There you go.
Well, there's one around here, and I will say where it is. The one by the co-op. They're set up for it to go recreational. Like they have no intention of making any money with it being medicinal, and they believe that if it goes recreational, then it'll instantly double.
Well,
the
since
amount
you
that it'll
two
go up.
gentlemen have insight on what's the mindset of the politicians in Jackson, what do you predict is the time frame in which it will go recreational here in our state?
I voted against it medically, and so I won't be for it. But I was one of only 4 in the Senate that voted against it, and so that tells me as soon as that vote came out, I was like, we are 5 to 10 years away from this thing going recreational. Now, I don't know that now because I haven't seen any more traction going that way. We did have a bill in the Senate, and Billy Adam can back me up on this. I was one of 8 or 9 or 10 in the Senate that voted against it that actually decriminalized the possession of meth. And that's just one of those steps, and that's one of those where it's like, oh, well, we're overpopulating our prisons and all that junk, and I don't
All that
subscribe
junk?
to any of that. I don't go with any of
Tells
this
you how you
criminal
feel.
justice reform stuff.
Yeah.
Vote against it every chance I have, and every now and then you make a mistake on voting for something. There may be 1 or 2 times that I didn't vote the right way on it, but it was pure. It wasn't by intention.
Billy
but-
Adam, what's your estimate on the marijuana becoming recreational?
I
in
really
Mississippi?
don't know. It's like he said, that 5 to 10 years after you pass medical marijuana. But, the feds, you might have your own state marijuana plan, but, it's still illegal.
It's still Schedule 1 by the feds.
And like on meth, we kill that bill. The good thing about us, we can work together and we talk. All right, we got this bill coming. I voted against it, passed, and need y'all to try to kill it. So that's where we really work well together and try to do things like that. Tried to kill early voting. I didn't vote against it, but we wound up. He voted against it on the Senate side. He tried to kill it, but we wound up stripping the language out for that. We're just not ready for early voting yet, in my opinion.
All right. Morning's in Meridian. Another caller on the line. Good morning. You have a question for our delegation.
I sure do. How y'all doing this morning?
Great.
Morning.
Doing fine, Mr. T.
Good. Listen, Jeff Tate and Billy Adam Calvert is probably 2 of the best politicians we have in the state. I do want to throw that in there. I take the world
Thank
of
you.
both of
Thank
them.
Wow. You
And,
don't get that every day.
Appreciate you.
Well, I do believe that. I just want to ask them this question. You're talking about, who comes up with these bills? I think if you poll the people of Mississippi, they want to just do away with the income tax and do away with the grocery tax and see what happens. You know what I'm saying? It's just that are you looking out for the people that elected you? I feel like I'm a teenager and we don't know what we want or what we need. But y'all feel like you're parents and no, you don't want to do away with the income tax because it might hurt the state. But you over there talking about the billions of dollars we have in the bank, and I think somebody needs to look at if we do this, how many people are going to move to Mississippi? The retirees that are moving from the north, from the high tax states, instead of moving to Texas and Florida and Tennessee, they'll move to Mississippi. Some of them. And I think we need to look at how we will grow our state once we do this. And this, these things of doing away with income tax over 10 years, and then you got to meet these criteria every year for the new one to kick in, it'll never happen. I'm telling you. You know, everybody that's in their 60s will be dead and gone before the income tax is gone. Not that it affects me anymore. It doesn't, okay?
Yeah.
But I think it'll make our state grow exponentially. And I just wish they would listen to the taxpayers rather than the lieutenant governor and the Speaker of the House, however who these people writing these bills, because obviously they're not listening to the people of the state of Mississippi. Because I think if we had a vote, we'd vote it out without 90% of the people. Do y'all feel that way? Does anybody feel that way but me?
I can tell you this: if Billy Adam was the Speaker and I was the Lieutenant Governor, that's what you would get.
Right.
Exactly what you just But you ask who comes with these bills, and you answered your own question. It's the Lieutenant Governor and the Speaker, and again, this is what's put in front of me. Do you vote yes or do you vote no with it? It's not that it can be amended. It's leadership that's going to allow for amendments. They're going to vote it up or down, and that's one of those where, are you going to be the guy that votes no on eliminating the income tax?
No. I mean,
Right.
you have to, Jeff. I mean,
Yes,
I
Yes, sir.
agree with that, but I'm just saying the leadership of our state, the people, especially the lieutenant governor that we directly vote for, okay, he's not listening to the taxpayers of Mississippi, in my opinion. Because I think if it was to a vote of the people, we'd do away with it hands down. Wouldn't even be close.
If most people thought like you and were as vocal as you, that's what would happen. Unfortunately, half the people aren't even registered to vote, and then half the people that are registered to vote don't even show up to vote. I wish we had more Tony McDaniels in the world.
Yeah. And I agree with you, too. I've talked to our chairman over it. I was on that committee this summer, and I said, look, 10 years is too long because I know me and you had this conversation. I said, my people are going to complain because it's taking too long. They don't like everything about it, but they want it. And he said, trust me, I want the same thing, but they won't allow us to do it any quicker. So it goes back to what Jeff said and you said. It's the Speaker and Lieutenant Governor.
Well, what's interesting that I hear a lot from people saying, and Tony just did, about how retirees are reluctant to move here because of the income tax. Can't we just eliminate it from retirees? Couldn't that be one stage in order to attract all of these retirees who people say are out there and not choosing Mississippi as a state to retire in? So that if you're over the age of 65, you have no income tax. Now, unfortunately, if you're under, then you're still paying. I mean, is that an actual thing? Are retirees looking at us and saying, no, not Mississippi because of the income tax? Or are there other factors, hospitals and other attractive, whatever they are, things for retirees?
Again, from what I understand, we're sitting in a good spot the way that we are, and we're to tinker with it. I don't know if that's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
I mean, I know me and Nick Lisi, we were riding around just yesterday, looking at yard signs, seeing who was doing what where, and we pointed out 3 different people that had just moved here because of what it costs to live here, how we were good. And so it's one of those where we're sitting good on so many different ways that,
Sure.
But at the same time, if it's put up in front of you, how do you vote on it? And that's what's being put up. This isn't as fun as crawfish or fireworks right now, but it's something that we do have to vote on.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll tell you another thing, guys. I read on Fox News the other day about several states that are considering eliminating property tax, especially for retirees. They do it in Georgia, and they don't even pay school tax. Retirees pay school tax in Georgia. And I think that would be a great thing to do for retirees to get people to move to the state. You don't have to pay property tax or income tax. Man, it just boomed.
That is
People
something
moving here.
we'd like to see, and we did. I think the exemption for retirees is $75,000, and we tried to move it up to
Which is nothing.
$150,000, which is nothing. But
Okay.
it hadn't been
It needs
touched.
to be $1 million exemption.
Right.
I vote for Tony.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get him to run in 2027.
$75,000, you don't feel it. It's the
Yeah.
couple of $100, you know, and you don't feel it. It's like it's just like you say. Somebody said earlier, the grocery tax. That, you know, the part that's going down. You know, like say, you might buy an extra bag of Doritos with the savings, and that's it. So I mean, nobody's going to change their way of doing business, or I'm going to go to Mississippi and buy my groceries because the taxes are so cheap.
Yeah.
You know, it's not going to work that way.
I've asked you a dozen times to run in 2027. I'll ask you a 13th time, run in 2027, okay? We need more numbers over there.
We'll talk. Okay.
Yes,
We'll
sir.
talk.
All righty.
Vote for Tony.
All right, I'll let y'all go, but thank y'all both for what you do, and I know it's
There you
not
go.
y'all, and I just cannot believe the power the Lieutenant Governor and the Speaker of the House have, because I would think that the majority, that if somebody made an amendment on the floor and you got a majority of the vote, they'd have to accept it.
Yeah.
I cannot believe that they have the power to keep every senator from speaking their voice. I feel like my vote for you guys really don't count, because all that matters is the Lieutenant Governor and Speaker of the House.
Oh, wow.
So they control everything.
Yeah. There you go. Good summation there, sir. Thank you.
Guys. I appreciate it.
All right. Good call there. We've got another caller on the line. Good morning. You have a question for our delegation.
Good morning. How y'all doing?
Doing
morning.
fine.
Good.
Doing fine. What's happening?
Look, you know, the good old boy system, as we have in the state of Mississippi, especially the legislative area of the state, is wonderful, but it ain't wonderful for everybody. So I'm not for it. And the good old boy system is they're going to wreck this PERS system.
PERS is the retirement system for state.
Get a hold of Elon and have him come to Jackson and see if he can't clean it up a little bit, because you know, they trying to run a good thing because they don't know how to spend their money. What y'all gonna do about it, Jeff?
Well, we passed a bill to have Tier 5, and as you know, last year we codified what everybody figured would happen. If anybody's retired, in other words, you went under a contract saying that you would be able to work and this is your retirement plan. And if anybody ever tried to take that away from you or any other employee anywhere, then they can sue in circuit court and win. But what we did is we went ahead and codified, and both the House and Senate both voted on this, that said that, look, any benefits that a state employee has shall not be altered in any way or removed. So what it looks like, what we're going to do, that we've tried passing, and we've now attached this to the state income tax bill, to try to make it where it'll be looked at as closely as state income tax, is to say that starting July 1st of this year and next year, the retirement system of before will not be any more for new employees, and that it'd be more of a 401k system that can be managed. And then at the same time, that entity, whether it be a municipality, county, or the state, can afford to pay that employee a higher wage. Retirement's just not a good recruiting or retention tool like it used to be. People don't look at it like they used to, or like they should, if you ask me. They want to know what the dollar is now. And so that was the plan.
Well, you know, of course, I don't agree with the 401k unless the employee itself can control how it is invested. And of course, I know with the state of Mississippi, there's a lot of employees, and you're not going to be able to do a Roth IRA type retirement. But why are we messing with it to begin with? It was pretty substantial. You know, I mean, we got a surplus of money. You know, you got them good old boys like Hoseman wanting to get their hands on it and write IOUs like they've been doing in D.C. since back in the 70s with the Social Security.
Well, now you're talking. Now you're talking. This is why I'd like gas passer. I'd like to save Medicaid, because I'm going to spend all my money. I'm not going to save it, and I'm going to let Medicaid take care of me in my old age.
Right on. Yeah, good.
That's my plan.
Right. Yeah, Yeah, I understand that. I ain't got to worry about spending mine because I ain't got none.
Okay.
Oh, no worries then.
Now, when I say spend all my money, I'm talking about that extra bag of Doritos and Fritos, and really just living it up a little bit.
I understand. You know,
All right.
you got to die from something, and lack of food ain't gonna be it.
That's it.
You know.
But you had another question. I derailed you. Go ahead.
That's all right. You got to put the tools away while you got them in, while you're thinking about it. Otherwise, you forget it. I understand, brother. It's called it short-term memory, and I have medical excuse on record for mine now.
On record.
Yeah. When my wife hit me with my favorite cast iron cornbread skillet 19 years ago. You know.
You deserved it, though.
Probably so, yeah.
Whatever.
All right. You did have one more question. Let's see if you remembered it now.
Yeah, this other deal on voting to supply money for charter schools and private schools and not trying to put more money in public education. You know, I'm not about that.
Okay.
know?
Now, charter schools are public schools. Is that right?
Correct, but so to speak. But we did have a bill for that. It did come out on the House floor, and I voted no because I don't think the charter schools are doing what they said they was going to do. Now, we did have another bill that was from public to public. Only thing it really did, and that was for D&F schools. Only thing it really did, it took the hands out of the home school where they can't stop a kid from leaving and gave it to the receiving school. So if a kid wanted to leave, the receiving school would have to okay it, no matter what the homeschool kid said or the homeschool district. But all those are dead.
Why aren't we trying to do something about the leadership of these D&F schools instead of throwing more money at a bad situation? Why don't we clean house, so to speak?
Well, we were talking earlier off the air about school choice and how you have to realize that when you talk about school choice, there's about 7 different definitions. It's kind of like saying, do you believe in evolution? Like there's a bunch of different definitions to that. There is one school choice bill that's still alive that I sure hope pass. And what that is it says that if you are a full-time guardsman, you're in the National Guard, then you can take your child to any public school you want to. And it doesn't matter what the distance is or anything like that.
Well, I have no problem with that.
Would that apply to other military families like our Navy? And
they're already in that. We passed that bill last year.
Okay,
actually.
I got you.
They've got that right now.
Okay.
Now we're not going to send a school bus, across state to get you. You'd have to find your own transportation.
Sure.
But under some of the school, this is what you have to realize. Again, 7 different definitions. You've got school vouchers. You've got school choice. You've got where other school districts can pick how many students they want. And one thing you're going to get into, and talking to our private schools, is that you're going to have strings attached, and you're going to have to provide certain things that these private schools right now do not have to provide, and they don't want it. And then if you talk to some of our better school districts, our public school districts, which, by the way, make up the majority of my district and Billy Adams' district, they don't want it as well because they have a good thing going. Then also you look at our constituents, that's going to affect property value. Now, that's a big deal to me. I don't think we need to be messing around with people's property value. And so,
you don't need to be messing around with mine.
yes, sir. So, the way I look at it, the only school choice bill that's out there right now, and I'm 100% for, is allowing for our National Guardsmen to be able to choose where they want to send their child to school.
Well, I'm all for that. They signed the dotted line, but now school choice, if you want your child to go to a different school, you need to move to that district or go to work in that district.
There you go. All right.
Y'all got a choice of what y'all want to do. I got a choice what I want to do. I just gotta grab the bull by the horns and go with it.
But isn't it?
Yes, Pastor. Good to hear that. Go ahead, Charles.
I was going to say, if we recognize that National Guard and other military people have that right for school choice, don't we recognize that there is a need for school choice and that there's a demand for it? We're just giving certain privileges to certain people, which is kind of unfair for the rest of the population.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and we can argue about our current school system, the state of it in the state, and our failures of that, and how do we resolve that? How do we solve that problem?
We've gone, well, believe it or not, guys, we've gone about an hour without taking a break here. So we're going to take this break. You don't have to run off, do you? Because we still have more show.
They're busy.
I guess I can stay.
All right.
All right. He guesses he can stay. Jeff Tate?
I have no choice. I have to stay.
Yeah, okay. All right. All right, we're going to take a break here for Fox News. We're going to cover a couple of other things that we need to take care of, and then we're going to come back. I'm Roger. Rob's in the other room. He's doing his other job, and Charles is here. And we're here with Jeff Tate and Billy Adam Calvert.
Says, ask the lawyers whether he defied a federal court order stopping deportations under the 17
It's Mornings in Meridian. Roger here. Rob is still pushing the buttons for the Facebook. Hello out there. Happy St. Patty's Day. There you go. Got the green on. All right, we're here, ready to go. We're visiting with, who are we? I'm Roger B. Of course, Charles Frazier here in the house with us.
Good morning.
Good to have you here, Charles. Rob's in the room. Say hi, Rob.
Hello.
All right. Also, Jeff.
Yes, sir.
Tate.
Morning.
We have Billy Adam Calvert.
Great to be here.
Glad to have you guys here who, two hard-working men in their own right, but they're representing you in Jackson. So I don't know why they haven't moved the capital to Meridian yet, but they should. Anyway, just a thought. Anyway, if you have any questions for them, in just a moment, we'll be taking some more questions. We're talking about everything from state retirement to Medicaid to state income tax. The session has about 3 weeks left in it, and if you have any questions for your representation, give us a call, 601-485-9191. But first, I want to tell you about Purvis Business Machines. Jerry and Betty Purvis have just given their lives to make sure that this town has more than adequate, superior business machine options and service.
That is exactly right. They've been doing it since 1979, 46 years strong. Purvis Business Machines, located, of course, at 4505 Highway 39 North. Go check out their beautiful showroom. They've got all kinds of copier, printer, scanners there, everything you need for your business, your home office, your business, whatever you need. They've got lease return color copiers and black and white. You can save up to 85% on those.
85.
Up to 85%. That's paying just 15% of retail. You cannot beat a deal like that. And what's great about Purvis is you can order it there and save lots of money, and then they'll bring it to your home or office and then connect it. It's all about connectivity. They'll even network your home or office if you need to as well, because they do it all there at Purvis Business Machines. Give them a call today, 601-693-COPY. Go see them at their showroom, 4505 Highway 39 North, or check them out online, gopurvis.com. Purvis Business Machines, service, not excuses, since 1979.
And Billy Adam Calvert was talking about how many rock pecks he got off the roads of Mississippi just traveling between here and Jackson. So we recommended that he go to A&A Glass and get his
It's the only
windshield
place to go.
Yeah, Adam Calvert, Adam McCree, good peoples.
They're all named Adam there. Every person is named Adam.
I want to see Adam.
A&A and
They all show up.
A&A.
That's it.
Exactly. Well, they change their names once they start working there. 601-693-GLASS is their number. They're at 217 22nd Avenue, also known as Seal Award. Whoa, there it is from the back, Parkway. And, that's just conveniently located downtown. All you got to do is go see them. They're open 8 to 4, Monday through Friday. And as I said, #1 glass replacement company here in town, have been 10 years running. I think they know what they're doing at this point, whether that's just a peck or just one of those little star cracks that you get, or your whole windshield needs replacing. They can fix or repair. They'll beat any price in town, fast, friendly, efficient, and they got great T-shirts. 601-693-GLASS.
All right, it's Mornings in Meridian. We're glad you're out there. We want you to be part of the show. If you have any questions for Jeff Tate, who is Senator from District 33, and Billy M. Calvert, who is Representative from District 83, you can call right now, 601-485-9191. We've been talking about everything from sales tax, fuel tax, this tax, that tax, patty wax, all this other kind of stuff. So, Jeff Tate, please.
This is something I wanted to.
The gentleman from District
The floor
33.
recognizes the gentleman from...
I'm not accusing anyone in this room
Oh.
of what I'm about to say.
Okay.
But I want to know, and this is like Beetlejuice. Don't say his name 3 times. I want to know who told Tommy Williams where me and my wife spent our Friday night. I want to know that. And I'm not accusing anyone in this room of being the one that did that, but I'm just letting it be known that I want to know that. So anyway, I needed to get that off my chest before I forgot.
Okay.
Where did you spend Friday night? I'm not quite sure.
Well,
Okay.
We'll see.
All right.
So Tommy found you there, huh?
No, but he let me know that I had a good meal right there on 22nd Avenue, just over the bridge. There on the right. Been there since 1870. I'm not saying anything more than that. That's all I'm saying.
I got you.
Wasn't me.
Okay.
Roger?
Moving right along. Boy. Yeah. Move right along.
Hey, I would like to talk about a bill, a feel-good bill, actually.
A feel-good bill.
So
every once in a while you need.
Everybody.
Well, and
feel-good. Oftentimes you need a feel-good bill.
And this is stuff that Billy Adams helped get across the finish line on the House side too. And we're still trying to. Anytime you pass a bill on one side of the Capitol, on the other side, if they change one comma, it's a different bill, and so it has to go to conference and other things. But man, we've really done a lot to help recruit our people to the National Guard. We talked about earlier about the school choice. Well, we also have passed both in the House and the Senate, and we're trying to get it to the governor to where their income tax that they have to pay for, the first $25,000 is tax free. We're trying to make it to where their insurance is paid for. You know, there's a lot of jobs that you can take where your insurance is taken care of. That's not the case in the National Guard. I wouldn't have thought that. And so anyway, we're trying to take care of that. We have some scholarship programs that we're trying to provide. And so I don't know if y'all know this, but man, Mississippi really is the envy of the U.S. as far as our military presence and what we have. And so right now our numbers are not where we want them to be in the National Guard. We're trying to up those numbers by 1,000 or so, 1,500. And so by passing these things, and let me say, we have a new adjutant general in General Bobby Ginn. And man, that is the man. He is a soldier. He is one of, like they say, one of us is what they say. And man, he really came in just throwing punches, trying to do what we can do to up our numbers because we have assets and equipment that, again, other states are very envious of. And if they can say that their numbers percentage-wise are higher than Mississippi's, then they have a claim to be able to take that equipment from us, whether it be a tank or a helicopter or any type of training facilities that or things that are at training facilities. And so that's some legislation that we're able to get behind, and those are the type that you get unanimous votes on. You know, that if we're going to spend taxpayer dollars somewhere, that it's going to go to our veterans, it's going to go to our military. And so I'm happy that really I think we've done more this session than probably the last 5 sessions combined when it comes to trying to help our National Guard out.
Very good. That's good stuff. All right, well, as we're moving right along, we've talked about the bills that are coming up in front of these gentlemen relating to tax elimination. And just to summarize, I think both the House and the Senate have plans that would reduce the state income tax or the working tax, I like the way Jeff put it, over a period of, was it 10 years?
10 to 12 years.
10 to 12 years. So for you young people out there, this is a good thing for you. So let's get behind them on this.
We had a bill that was presented towards, I don't know if it was the House, Senate, or exactly who initiated it, for a bed tax to fund a sports complex. And I think it died last year. Now, is that being renewed? Is that kind of a dead issue? Or
funny you should bring that
up.
Yeah, it is very funny. Well, isn't that funny now? All right, what you got?
All right.
I'll talk about the bill last year, and I'll let Billy Adams talk about the bill this year.
He defers to his colleague from across the building.
So last year,
not across the aisle, across the building.
So there's just a general understanding that the state of Mississippi is never going to pass a sales tax to exceed 10% on anything. And right now, there's sales tax on your hotels of 9.5%. So you really only have about 0.5% more you can go up on that. Well, we came up with a unique thing to say, well, look, we're not going to put a percent. We're going to put a dollar amount, $5. Okay, so there's going to be a $5 tax per room per night, and that would be in any hotel, motel, Airbnb inside the county or the city, and that money would go towards a sports complex. We just weren't given enough information to be able to explain to the rest of the body how this was going to go. And now that bill went in front of the Finance Committee. The Finance Committee is a 26-member committee. I had 24 yes votes from that committee. The problem is I had 1 no vote from the chairman of that committee. Therefore, the chairman never did bring that bill up.
Who was the chairman of that committee?
Josh Harkins.
What's his number?
Well, and look, hey, well, here's the thing. He is.
Oh, Rob, get that man.
Well, if you take the hierarchy of the 51 senators that are over there, he is number 1. He's at the top. In other words, to be chairman of finance is a big deal. From what I understand, when Delbert Hoseman decided who was going to be the chairman and who was going to be on each committee in 2019 going into 2020, it was him, his chief of staff, and Josh Harkins. And that was it. So when we talk about inner circle, we talk about leadership, that's it. Now, if I had more that I could explain of, okay, this is where we're going, this is how many fields of this type's going here and this type that's going there, then maybe I can have a little bit more. And again, I had 24 out of 26
in other words,
commit to me.
in other words, the chairman of that committee didn't want to pass a bill to raise money for something that wasn't planned.
Right. And so anyway,
show me what you're going to do, and then we'll talk about how we're going to pay for it.
Right. So Billy Adam, what happened over the weekend?
Well, we got one this year. This is a year we renew that hotel motel tax. They wanted to go up 0.5%, but they were supposed to have a plan. They hadn't got the plan ready yet for the sportsplex. But when we do this, and he can back me up on this, I want that 5% marked to that sportsplex, not going into the tourism fund. I mean, it goes in there, but I want that 5%. When it goes in there, it gets set aside.
The 0.5%.
0.5%.
Yeah, okay.
So I know it's going to that sportsplex, and I don't know how much money that's going to generate. So right now we're just going to renew the tax. And when you go up on that tax, it will have to be a vote before the people. And I just don't think the temperature's right in the county for people to vote on the sportsplex. Some are still upset over the school bond issue and then the property taxes. So it's just not a good time right now for that.
The school bond issue, they had 4 places to go vote.
All over the county. 4.
And I do think people want the sportsplex, and once we earmark that for the sportsplex, I think it'll breeze by with no problem. But it needs to be earmarked so there's no. And again,
they would apply this to.
Would we go vote at a ball field for that? How would that work?
Right.
I mean, the tennis courts.
I know.
Jeff can tell you that.
I know this is all funny, haha. But hey, being dead serious. No, being dead serious. Let's think about in 2023. That was probably about half of the people's problem with it is the fact that it was at a special location at a special time when you had an election 1 month later. You know what I mean?
Right.
So the bill
that was huge. That was a big problem.
Big part of it. So the bill that we had last year stated that the people decide on this. And by the way, it's not 50% plus one. It'd have to be a mandate of 60% plus. 60% or more would have to. So 59.9%.
In other words, it appears on the ballot.
And it would appear last year on last year's ballot, which was, by the way, the biggest turnout election that we were going to have, the president's election.
Would have been a great time, yes.
The day that everybody knew when to go vote, and you go to where everybody was going to vote originally, where they go every time, and it was going to cost the taxpayers $0. In other words, this is adding, all it does is just add a measure at the bottom of the ballot.
Sure.
So nothing else had to be. And so I think that if we're going to do this, if we're going to tackle, we need to do it a year that we have a general election where everybody in the county votes. So this year we don't have a general election. Next year we will. The next year we will.
A statewide general election you're talking about?
A countywide general election, right? Which is the whole state also.
Yeah.
So you have 4-year election cycles. One of those is this year, which is municipality. And so you're not necessarily guaranteed a general election for the whole county.
Yeah.
I think that it needs to be a general election in November when everybody goes vote to their regular place, and it costs the taxpayers no extra money, and then we have to have 60% or more to vote in favor of it. That's what I'm for.
What we're talking about is in favor of the 0.5% increase in
or
the bed
any
tax,
kind of increase
in the
any
bed
kind
tax.
Of
Yeah, for a
But
hotel.
we're limited by you're capped at 10 currently.
Right.
Okay.
And I'm one of these that I travel, so it's like, when I look at my hotel bill, I said, wait a minute, you said this room was this dollar, this, this tax, this, and I'm one of these that gets a little bit irate about all the add-ons to a hotel bill.
But you pay it and you go on to your next location.
You pay it and you're going to like it.
That's right.
$100 hotel room will cost you $130 in most places by the time it's over with.
Yeah. Oh,
And
I'm talking about those $18, $20 hotel rooms. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
Where are those at? I know.
You don't want to.
Roger knows.
Yeah.
And I don't disagree with this.
Just kidding.
The hotel motel tax is mainly going to be paid by people out of town. So, I don't have a problem with that. It's just it come to us. The bill didn't get emailed to us till 5 o'clock Wednesday, I believe, and the deadline was Thursday and Friday. So it wasn't enough time to. You got to make sure you do it right.
Yeah.
And I want to see. I know they're working on whether they want to tell it or not. Sportsplex proposal, and so we should have that in the next month or two. and to see what it's going to look like. Does everybody agree on it? And then we got to work where it's going. So I like to have all those details before we go and try to get this tax passed.
So are you still going to attempt to get the $5 bed tax? Or is that going
no,
to
sir,
be, you're just going to increase the
if we did that, then
percentage?
we would be having a special election this year, and that's not what I want. I don't
I meant for the next time, though.
For the next time, yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
So the $5 is still available, or the 0.5%?
It's an option.
0.5. Yeah. I don't know if we can get that $5.
I don't know if we can.
Passed.
I'd like to be able to get that. That's what I personally would
I
like.
know we can get the 0.5 passed.
Of course, it's
over
about
there.
the same, isn't it? In fact, the 0.5 might actually raise more money. If you got a $100 hotel room, that's $5 right there, which is 0.5.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's pretty much the same. Kind of, maybe. No.
No, that'd be if it was 5%.
Yeah. It's only 0.5.
oh,
Yeah, see what I'm saying?
It's 50%.
I was making sure before.
No, you're right.
I'm only married to a math teacher.
That's
Yeah,
what it
that's
is. Yeah.
Right now it's 2.5. They will allow us to go up 0.5 but cut it off at 3. So
We'll take a quick break. We'll come back and finish up our visit with State Senator Jeff Tate and Representative Billy Adam Calvert. So please don't go anywhere. We'll be back.
No more staying out all night of drinking. Well, everything's better on the home button now. The meeting in the middle, working it out. He finally figured out he's got something worth keeping. Yeah, the daddy's come around and mama's way of thinking. Where daddy used to go out every night with his friends, and mama stayed home taking care of the kids.
Oh, it usually happens. Usually daddy comes around to mama's way of thinking.
Always. Yeah.
It usually happens. That's Mississippi's own Paul Overstreet, born down the road there in Newton, Mississippi. And, of course, he turns 70 years old today. So happy birthday, Paul Overstreet. Appreciate the representation, the music, and all the good stuff you've done for us. It's Mornings in Meridian, and we're glad you're out there. Roger, along with Charles.
Yep. Good
we
morning.
still have Jeff Tate and Billy Adam Calvert from our Senate and House of Representatives. They just won't leave. So, no, just kidding. We are about to leave, though. But first, we want to tell you about plumbing. There's a place where you can go to school and learn how to be a plumber. It's called Barber & Sons Plumbing University.
It is, that's right. And they pretty much take all applicants. So no minimum ACT or grade point average or anything like that.
I'm in.
Go see them. They'll take Rogers. They'll take anybody. 1123 26th Avenue is where you will find the University of Plumbing with Barber & Sons Plumbing, 601-482-7023. They've been in business for over 80 years. I think they invented indoor plumbing. That's where all the plumbers go, and there's a reason for that because they've got every type of plumbing part available. And if they don't have it in stock, they'll get it for you quickly. And if you're a do-it-yourself or bring a picture of the part, bring the part in itself. Gary's going to give you detailed instructions on how to repair it. And even if you get home and you don't know how to do it, call him up. He'll walk you through it. They're just that good at Barber & Sons Plumbing. Go see him. Don't go anywhere else. 1123 26th Avenue, 601-482-7023.
All right, Jeff Tate, Billy Adam Calvert, we've got a couple minutes for you to kind of whatever you want to tell our listeners, your constituents, about what's going on in Jackson. Who's first? Billy Adam?
As I was saying at the break, we did pass the state vegetable. Bipartisan vote. It is now the sweet potato.
Hey!
Is that a vegetable
I
or like
sweet potatoes?
Is that a tuber? How do we define that?
I guess that would
Well,
be.
you're right. There was a lot of questions on that.
I bet there was debate, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was a lot.
Why not the okra? What happened to that? I bet they were mad at Delta State. Didn't pass the okra.
Well, you had a lot of representation from Vardaman, I guess.
Yeah.
Right.
I got
And they did bribe us. We did have a sweet potato on our desk.
See?
Oh, he didn't do that in the Senate.
Should have had the fried okra.
We do it the right way in the Senate based on merit. I didn't know they were doing that over in the House.
yeah.
Okay.
You didn't get any bribes over there, did you?
Not like that.
Now, that's just funny. I don't care who you are. All right. Well, Jeff Tate, anything you want to add?
Billy Adam was about to say something.
I just want to thank the voters for their support. And
Yes.
if you ever have any questions, feel free to reach out. My number is 601-490-0652.
490-0652.
That's not his number.
Anytime, day or night, huh? Right.
Anytime. I
Well-
get calls anytime. All time of the night.
Is that Jeff's number, really?
I'll give you both. He's got two phones. I give you
No,
both.
I do not.
All three
What are
of
you
them.
talking about?
There we go.
No, 601-527-4124, 527-4124, and that's for any crawfish needs or firework needs, state needs. I'm here.
All right. Speaking of fireworks, if you don't get to see any during 4th of July or New Year's, just go watch Jeff Tate over in Jackson. Plenty of fireworks over there.
That's right. That's right. All the time.
Gentlemen, thank you for taking time to
Appreciate
be
it.
with us.
Appreciate
this
it.
morning.
Thank y'all.
Awesome.
And we're here. Glenn Beck will be coming around the corner, followed by Buck Sexton and Mr. Travis.